they kind of got this idea in their head of what dementia is, but they're not giving the person a chance to explain how it's affecting their life.
I'm Jill Cree and I'm one of the actors.
My name is Claire Pentecost. I'm the project manager on the Ideal project.
My name is Steve Bennett and I'm an actor on the project.
I'm Sally Geek and I'm one of the actors.
My name is Paul Jepson and I'm the director.
We've learned from people with dementia that communication can be very difficult and often people with dementia are misunderstood or that they're not heard. Scenarios and the material that we're using is based on the research itself, and it's also based on real life experiences of people with dementia, and we're bringing that in as we go through the process as well.
Structure and organisation is so crucial in what is a confused world for me. I need that sense of place and organisation and structure in order to be able to function. And when it's less available to me or less obvious to me, then I become anxious.
A lot of these people are very fluid, speak very well, but then suddenly they just drift off for a moment. And you see that in the transcript. I think Keith doesn't, he talks a lot about fog.
I found what they had to say. I play more sort of a family member and carer in the scenes. So it's really interesting listening to the people in the group who were carers or had been carers to their own family and what they had to say. Because obviously that's a really, it can be portrayed quite badly. So I found that really important to listen to sort of their side of it and what parts they found difficult and what parts they actually enjoyed.
This starts from interviews, and the Ideal project has done a lot of interviewing. And they're quite exceptional interviews, often very alive, and they give a very clear sense of a human being. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at a set of scenarios, and each of these scenarios can be taken in various different ways. And we'll show you one way, we'll have a bit of a chat about it, and then we'll see if there's some other outcomes that can happen from those scenes.
So yes, I've had a referral from your GP from some initial tests that you've done.
Yes.
So today I'd like to do a medical history with you. Then if we could get you booked in to do some blood tests and some urine samples, and then we'll get you booked in for some memory tests as well.
Right. Okay.
And then depending obviously how they go, we'll then book you again, maybe in a couple of weeks, maybe a month or so.
Right. And how often do I have?
I mean, really, it depends on how quickly we get a diagnosis. At this stage, we're just ruling things out rather than ruling things in, so it can take a while.
But I've got a job. I can't come every 2 weeks.
Yeah, we do early mornings and evenings. I just want to check. Keith did say he went to the memory clinic every 2 weeks, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Mm.
And it did take months.
Yeah, it did take months.
Yeah. The only line that she actually said fully to the other character was just like, come in and sit down, and then the rest of it she was looking at a screen, not really caring.
Let's be fair to the NHS and have another go.
Lastly, really, sort of, has your mood changed at all?
I've felt down since it's happened, if I'm honest. I've not felt as good as I normally do. It's playing on my mind.
Yeah.
He's a lot more cooperative.
He's more cooperative, so she learns more, doesn't she?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Why should there be multiple outcomes? And the reason why it's interesting in terms of the academical, public interfacing academic part of the project is because it means that people can think about different ways in which they can behave in certain situations, and they can associate those different behaviour patterns with different outcomes. It's interesting theatrically because what you do is you realise that you can change a scene completely by only changing one element within that scene.
If we're able to do that, if we're able to sort of think there's another way of doing this, there's another way of playing this out for a different outcome, that's actually useful to know, isn't it?
Long story short, please let me get there. I've had a diagnosis of dementia. Now, I know it's a shock. And yes, you will say, I should have told you already. I didn't want to tell you any sooner because it could have turned out to be nothing.
Yes, but it has turned out to be something,
Yes, all
hasn't
right,
it?
which is why we're here now.
Why did you do this on your own?
Because
Why did you let her do this on her
I knew nothing about it.
You live here?
Oh, well, you're going to have to move back as well now.
Absolutely not. I can't. I've got a job.
What's textbook about it?
Well, they're thinking about, it's their emotional reaction to it, isn't it? Without thought for her.
Could you try and just be a bit more sympathetic to your mother, please? Please. Could you bear to tell them again? Would that be all right? Okay, and let's go.
right, long story short, I've had a diagnosis of dementia. Now, I know it's
Mummy!
Now, yes, dear, all right. It isn't the end of the world.
Are you going to be okay?
Yes, well, for quite a long time, I hope.
The thing is, it's a small word, care, for a big, big thing. And caring is very, very, very hard. Because what you have to do if you're trying to care for somebody is you have to not allow your own emotions to condition your response.
Just being too sympathised because she's just trying to tell them how she feels about it, but yet they're just kind of like going crazy, and the worst thing you can do is make someone feel like the situation is worse at that moment.
So if you were playing either of these characters, what would you be saying to yourself? What would your activity be?
I mean, that was the other thing that was really interesting, was learning how long people can live with it, and actually it not being the stereotypical, oh, who are you? I don't know who my husband is or who my daughter is.
Well, I can say that I've definitely learned something out of it, because, I mean, I didn't really know a lot about dementia beforehand, but I thought it was an illness where it just kind of snaps on, and it's very, you know, simple, but it's a long process, which I hadn't noticed before.
We're so used to TV dramas and films about dementia. Oh, he forgets things. That's it. That's basically what you get on a TV drama. So to try and move away from that and find a real truth to these people, and these people don't just forget things. There's many different facets to what's going on in their brain and in their body and in their lives. And I hope we've got some way to doing that.
I was beginning to coast with life, but I had to wait. I had to sit up and take notice for this project, and I'm very glad I was involved.